What's up, guys? Carlos here again. Today I am going to fix something that my nephew broke. I'm blaming it on him because he's the one who tore it off. But on my personal Chevy Tahoe, the back plate right above the license plate where the rear view camera is and the the Chevy logo is and everything. It's actually a very common problem on these Chevy Tahoes. They have a tendency of breaking at where the bolts hold it to the actual liftgate, and they start to rattle and get loose. And it just so happened that my nephew came over and grabbed it thinking that was the handle to lift up the liftgate and tore it right off with just two fingers. What I'm gonna try to do is try to see if I can remove them and see if there's a way I can fix it without having to buy a whole other piece, because if I remember correctly, those are paint to match, which means it's gonna be expensive. So let's see if I can find an easy solution, and I'll show you guys along the way. So there it is. That's what my nephew tore up. This is where your license plate normally goes. And as you can see, these are where the 10mm bolts actually tighten this whole cover. And this is what the cover looks like right here. You can see the cameras right there. But see, these tabs broke. So maybe some Gorilla Glue. I mean, it's not normally my favorite type of way of fixing things, but what am I supposed to do if it costs that much money, right? We'll see. All right, so first things first, we gotta take off this panel because it sits on top of this one. So we gotta remove this guy. It's very easy, just get a flat blade, pop it off through here. Then you have a torch right there on the handle. It's a torch, I believe it's a 30. I'm gonna check it now. Then you have another torch the same size as the other here with the handle. And make sure you undo the defrost gently because they can break and they're very delicate. So let me just do that real quick before I forget. And then the panel should just pop right off, except that, oh yeah, there's two more. You gotta open up the actual, there you go. And then right here, you have these two little push tabs, which are probably the easiest things to remove. I mean, I could even do with my keys. Just pop in, and they should pull right out. There you go, right out. I'm gonna do both of those now, and then just start popping panels off. That's the only way you're gonna get to the bolts that are behind here, that I believe are 10mm. I'll show you a view from the other side. Definitely a 30, torch 30. That just pops right off. Of course we get rain. Miami does it rain with the sun out. I use plastic, that way I don't scratch anything. These clips are on there with pressure, so you gotta pull on it gently, but right at the source. Don't try to get these clips off by pulling over here, because you will crack this. Once you get the panel off, you're gonna find that some of these little clips might have popped out of place. It's very easy. As you can see, there's a little slot right there. You just slide it right back into place. And make sure that they're all back in there. You see this one's a little deformed. I'll straighten that out. Yeah, it's alright. I just gotta be careful about putting it in. And all the other ones look good. Fantastic. Okay, now that we're under here, I can show you the bolts. Let's see. Boom. That's a 10 right there. And they're hidden in the little holes, so you're gonna find them. That's another 10. And it looks like we got another one right in there. It's 410 millimeters in total. Just make sure you locate them. Boom, another one. All right, so it started raining. That's what sucks about not having a shop, is that the weather can ruin your plans, right? Well, anyway, I'm gonna try to get it done anyway because YOLO. Pretty much, since it's a 10 millimeter bolt and it's cracked from the other side, if I just put my drill or socket on it, the bolt is just gonna spin. So I'm gonna have to hold it with something on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clamp it down with the vice grip. I'll show you how I do that. And then use a socket on the other side and loosen it carefully. If I do just put the socket on the 10 millimeter and start spinning, I can start scratching up all the paint and it could be a total nightmare. So, and plus the bolt's not gonna go anywhere. You have to hold it on the other side. So here we are outside and I have my vice grips, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to adjust it so that I can hold it right on the outside part, just like that. And I'm gonna clamp down. It's gonna push down on this sucker hard. There you go. That ain't going nowhere. It's already kind of loose, as you can see. Now we can go to the other side. And that's the first one. So now I gotta find the first hole, and I believe it's that guy right in there. So let's get it. I'm gonna do my best here. But what we gotta do is we gotta lower this enough where you can grab the vice grip from the other side, hold on to it, then 1/4 inch ratchet, an extension, and a deep 10 millimeter. Make sure you get in there. There you go. Then you got your nut that you came out with your vice grip from the outside, or that's the bolt, I'm sorry, and the nut here on the socket, which is a magnetic socket. So yeah, absolutely it's uncomfortable to do. It's not exactly the most comfortable thing and easiest thing to do. It takes a little wiggling on both ends while holding the door down, like in your pit. It's not exactly comfortable by any means, but you're going to repeat that for all 4 bolts. And remember, this is to try to rig it. It's not a perfect fix. Small surprise, I completely forgot about this, but you're gonna have to take out the rear window motor, undo these two 10 millimeters right here, and get it to hang down, because the last bolt, it's the 3rd bolt, you have to get it, and it's right behind here. So I'm gonna take these off and see how much accessibility I have. Well, you see the bolt, you can't see it, it's right behind here. It's hard to get a camera view of it. So what I'm gonna do is I can actually stick my hand through the back here on this hole here and get to the actual nut that I can see barely. Let me get in there. Alright, so let me give you an idea of what happened. I put the wrench in where I saw. I put it on there. I didn't have much room for turning the wrench, so what I did is just held the wrench there, and I went on the other side and I started spinning the vice grip, and it started to spin off. So
I did have to loosen these two just enough where I could pull on it slightly so that I could get to that nut in the back. So don't forget to re-tighten those up. Now, as I record this video, I have no idea what this thing cost, but I replaced so many at the dealership that I know exactly how they break. So I'm gonna rig this one. JB Weld works amazing. All I have to do is put JB Weld and fill it all in and let it dry really well before I put it back in, and making sure it doesn't get into the threads. And I can hold every single one of these clips perfectly fine that way. And it's gonna cost me whatever the JB Weld cost me. All right, so this is gonna be pretty much a 3-part video. The removal, me actually applying the JB Weld and showing you how to do the repair itself, and then of course the installation.